today we are going to be making, do you remember?
Chickpea masala.
Chickpea masala. It is a vegan dish and it's become one of our family favorites. I kind of was trying to eat a little bit healthier and it's a recipe I stumbled across and it's delicious. So, what are we going to be using? We are going to be needing 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 large onion that is finely chopped, 2 garlic cloves that are minced, 1 piece of ginger finely chopped. I kind of cheat and get the already made ginger, a tablespoon of gram masala,
And garlic.
2 teaspoons of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of ground coriander, 2 teaspoons of paprika, and I like to use the smoked paprika personally, and then a teaspoon of turmeric. Now this recipe does call for a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. However, I usually omit the cayenne pepper because I have these ones here that don't like things spicy. So I always put it on the side and let others put it on as they wish to make it as hot or not as they'd like.
And here's Kitty.
So first what we're doing is we put in our olive oil in the bottom of our pan here, and we're going to turn it on high, and we are going to start sauteing our chopped onion. So I have already chopped it all up very finely.
Looks good.
Does it?
It looks good.
Alright, and we're going to get that going and saute that. So this actually says that you should saute this for 6 minutes. So that is what we're going to do. It does get pretty fragrant, so I would recommend opening a window or having some sort of ventilation while you've got this going. Okay, we have let this kind of saute for about 6 minutes, and that's about what it looks like. Our onion. Now, what are we going to add next? We are going to add garlic and saute for another minute.
Yep. And Daddy says, Mama, garlic is Mama's nickname. And it has a garlic.
Okay, we got that garlic in, and now we're going to add ginger and the spices. All right, so we're going to add our ginger. It says a tablespoon, or excuse me, it says a 2-inch piece of ginger finely chopped. So I kind of, I like ginger, so I just kind of add a bunch. You can decide what you'd like to do.
I taste the ginger.
It's really good. Okay, so I added the ginger, and now we're going to put in all the spices. So we've got a tablespoon of gram masala.
Green masala.
All right, a tablespoon of that.
Can I put it in?
I'll let you put in something else. Hold on.
Paprika.
There's a tablespoon of gram masala. 2 teaspoons of cumin. Cumin.
You could even use cumin for boiled eggs.
Yes, you can.
You can dip it. First crack it and dip it.
2 tablespoons of that. We got the cumin. Now we need 2 teaspoons of coriander.
I want to put in that red stuff.
2 teaspoons of that. 2 teaspoons of paprika. And like I said, I usually use the smoked paprika. It smells so good. I love this. That's pretty much it. out. Okay, so we got that, and then a teaspoon of turmeric. And then we got a teaspoon of turmeric. So once you've got all of your spices added, you're going to actually want to saute them again on your stove top for about 30 seconds. So we're going to kind of mix these up around. Kind of heat up your spices in there. So now we are going to be adding our chickpeas. They're most commonly called garbanzo beans, but they're the same thing. I use 2 cans. One I drain. The second one I don't drain. And then it also calls for a can of chopped or diced, tomatoes. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have a can of it, so I had to dice some up myself. So that's acceptable, obviously.
And now she's gonna cook the tomatoes.
Yeah, cook it all in together. And now that we got that, we are going to let it boil and then lower to a simmer and cook for 15 minutes.
Cook, cook.
All right, we've let this simmer for about 15 minutes. Now we're going to add our coconut milk. And it's kind of hard at the top, but once you kind of puncture into that, you'll see that there's actual liquid. I lost my train of thought in the middle of my sentence. So there is coconut milk liquid in there too. So we add in that, we stir it in. Kenzie, do you want to stir it a little bit for me? Okay, come over and yeah. And then you're going to want to keep it on low and simmer it for an additional 5 minutes with that coconut milk in there. And then basically it's completely done. The only other step that there is if you feel that the consistency isn't what you would like, you can definitely add a teaspoon of cornstarch mixed with some water to your food, and then that will thicken it up. And obviously this is too loose, so you're going to want it to be kind of, something that you could either pick up with bread. We usually eat it on top of white plain rice, and we garnish it with some chopped cilantro.
I'll mix this up. Will you get the cilantro?
Okay, so now we are going to thicken this up a bit. I have my cornstarch and water in here. You're going to want to turn up the heat to high and get this boiling so that you can kind of get this all mixed in really good. So once that starts boiling, we'll add in this cornstarch. And you'll pretty much notice immediately it starts to thicken up and it gets to be a good consistency. And then it's pretty much ready. Like I said, you'll just spoon this over rice if you wish. You can eat it plain, garnish with some cilantro. So good. Okay, this is the end of our video, but I wanted to show you kind of how it all turns out when it's plated. So I'm going to take some rice And I'll put it on this plate here. Like that. And take the chickpea masala and put that on top of the rice. Oops.
Oh my God. So happy to see you. Wait, before I go to sleep, I have things to place.
And finally, take the chopped cilantro and put that on the top as a garnish. And like I said, cayenne pepper to your liking. And then I always add a little slice of lime.